Good morning. The weather has been beautiful this October. I feel very blessed and thankful because we work outside. One of my jobs, I have two jobs. That's related. I'm not just bragging to the video title. But anyway, so my main job, general construction, residential remodels, rebuilds, etc., additions. It's a lot of fun. I love it. But unfortunately, I found the trades later in life, so I don't have, the 10 to 15 years of experience that qualifies and enables me to be at the higher end of the pay structure. I'm getting up there, I've got a few good years of experience, but entry level pay isn't great anywhere, pretty much for any industry or any job. But so I have another job at Home Depot, just general retail. But I like the vertical integration of the two because I get to learn more about general construction when I'm not actually doing the construction. And so it's a really cool double job situation. But I was just doing my finances and even working two jobs, I have no clue, none, how I'm going to pay off any of my student loans. And it is something I don't think about a lot because it's heavy. It's really heavy. And for the longest time, no joke, my student loan payoff plan has just been societal collapse. Like, we will probably see America just totally implode before I make any substantive progress on paying my student loans. It's really depressing. It's really depressing. And while I hate the government and I hate politics and I hate all of the manipulation and division that comes with government, politics, societal control, etc. I think whatever presidential candidate pushes really hard for student loan forgiveness in the next election, I think they're going to win. I had planned on not voting anymore. I did vote for Donald Trump in 2024, and that's been a major letdown. I didn't have high hopes, but it's just been a major letdown. Fuck all of them. Just fuck them all. But maybe if there's a candidate that wants to just forgive all student loans, I might vote for them. And I totally acknowledge that I did agree to take on these loans. However, I did so under the impression that we were not going to totally inflate the shit out of the economy via all of this money printing, and we were going to not regulate and control the economy to the point where fewer and fewer corporations own more and more and are paying substandard wages. And we're all just part, like little cogs in this gross fucking machine. I do not feel like I was provided informed consent when I was making the decisions to take on student loans. Because to me, I was told that jobs were going to be abundant and that so for the record, I don't have basket weaving degrees. I have a fucking master's degree in business administration and a bachelor's degree with a minor in finance. So bachelor's in business administration, management with a minor in finance. And that's kind of how I began to learn just how crooked and corrupt the banking institutions and industry are, and how central bankers are some of the worst people in the world in conjunction with their friends in the government. So it's not just one of them. It's the fact that central bankers and government cronies are friends and work together. Oh, and then let's include the military industrial complex over there. So the military-industrial complex with the governments and the central bankers are destroying the world. Well, there's another layer above that, but we won't get into that right now. Not on this channel, not here. So, while, like, I guess morally, part of me says that it would be wrong to forgive student loans because we signed a contract, another part of me feels like we were lied to. So therefore, negating the contract. Because if you're lied to during a negotiation, or if the other end of the bargain is not held up in the form of an economy that will enable people to repay their student loans, that contract is null and void. And I would love to do the honorable and noble, the right thing to do, and to pay them off. But I literally can't even figure out how to just get a place to live and how to, like, begin to want to start a family. And this is where things get really sad, because this topic is going to trigger a bunch of conservatives, and there aren't any liberals that really like me. So I'm just alienating everyone. But that's my thoughts, and my dilemma is, like, what the fuck do I do? If you go watch my past videos, the last 5 years have been me just struggling. I'm finally, now that I'm working 2 jobs, averaging 50 to 60 hours a week, I'm finally, like, flipping the ball of momentum, the momentum wheel. Instead of falling backwards, I'm starting to climb out. But I'm, like, just starting to climb out, right? And it's like to climb out to a point where I, like, might not be homeless. So to think about paying off my student loans when I'm homeless, it's comical, it's laughable. It kind of proves the point of how we were misinformed when we were taking out these loans. College is pretty much a scam at this point. The academy, as they call it, the academy has fallen. People like, I don't love Peter Boghossian, but I think Peter Boghossian, someone like him who is a liberal but has been, kicked out of the university system, the exposing that they did, what was it called? Peter Boghossian, Helen Pluckrose, and James Lindsay. And James is a bit of a character. So am I. So I'm, the pot calling the kettle black. But they made the grievance studies. So they made up fake studies, submitted them to academic papers, and they were accepted. It was this whole thing. Just exposing how ludicrous the university system is. And so let me just wrap up all of this by saying both sides suck. I hate conservatives. I hate liberals. I shouldn't use that word. That's a strong word. But I am unhappy with liberals, and I am unhappy with conservatives. Most people are retarded. Don't use the strong word hate, but then I just say retarded. But most people kind of are retarded. It's really sad to see. They're so easy to brainwash and manipulate. It's almost like a magic spell, as crazy as that sounds. But then you start getting into, like, things like the TV and... all right, I was getting off subject. I'd be curious to know what you think. Not just how do we solve the student loan problem. How do we solve the greater economic problem that is facing this country? I would love to know what you think, regardless of what your background is. I'm sorry for being judgmental towards people. That's just my own projections of inadequacy, trying to salvage some ego. You all are just humans doing your best to get through a really chaotic, fucked up situation. I would just request that you do a little better. Because if you are allowing yourself to be emotionally manipulated to the point where you're having hostile arguments with your neighbor instead of civil dialogue, then you're letting them win. You're letting the social engineers and the central bankers win. So how can we have a civil conversation around fixing the student loan problem and, in general, the greater economic problem that impacts most Americans. So instead of fighting, let's collaborate for a solution. Thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I have merch. I need to update the description in my last few videos. I'll do that now. Much love.